Hey guys, what's up? I'm back and I'm ready for another book video. Today's book video is a little different, however. Instead of me doing a reading vlog like I feel like I normally do, or showing you guys my TBRs for the month, I'm still gonna do those, by the way, still gonna do them, but I'm gonna try a little something different today. Today, I'm gonna be getting ready while I read your guys' unpopular book opinions. And I'm also gonna share some of my unpopular book opinions because why not? But first and foremost, let's put my hair back out of my face. I don't want to get makeup in my hair, to be quite honest. Also, we're gonna totally ignore the fact that I am doing my makeup to go absolutely nowhere today. Also, can we just appreciate the fact, ouch, that hurt, that I am in sweatpants and a sweatshirt and I'm about to get all dolled up, but I'm literally going nowhere. If that doesn't explain the epitome of girlhood, I don't know what does. Okay, anyways, let's get into these unpopular book opinions because I was reading some of these and y'all got some takes, let me tell y'all. Okay, first unpopular book opinion, let's go. The Song of Achilles is the most boring book. That's a hot take. And the only reason I say that that's a hot take is because I feel like all over like Book Talk and Instagram and also YouTube especially, I feel like I always hear about people raving about the Song of Achilles. And don't get me wrong, it was a good book. I think I read it, 2 years ago. Yeah, it was definitely 2 years ago. And I remember liking it and it was interesting. But the thing is everybody was like, oh my gosh, you're gonna cry, you're gonna love this book. And then I never cried, and I didn't love the book, but I don't hate the book. I feel like Greek mythology retellings are really hard to get into unless you really like Greek mythology. I never read the Percy Jackson books as a kid, also prepared for those comments. So I feel like, I don't know, I feel like you've really gotta like Greek mythology to really like Song of Achilles. It's all about personal preference, personal taste, and you know what? Not everybody is gonna have the same book taste as you, and that's perfectly fine. Moving on to the next one. Colleen Hoover's writing is not that bad. Yes and no. I agree with it partly. I think she has some good books. Based off the ones that I've read, the ones that I think are worth reading is Verity, Confess, Reminders of Him, November 9th, solely just because of the plot twist to it and how fucked up it is. I don't actually like Ben, I think is the main guy character's name. I don't like Ben and what he did, but I liked the plot to it. I thought the plot was really interesting. I thought the whole like twist to it was insane, but I didn't like the character, so there's that. But yeah, I don't know, I feel like that's like, you can say that with every author. And also the thing is liking books and authors is completely subjective. Not everyone is going to have the same book taste and writing taste as you, so what you may think is really bad writing, someone else may think is really good. And to be quite honest, if reading, you know, Colleen Hoover is what gets you into reading, so be it. You know what? So be it. Like, at least people are reading and not spending their whole entire life on their phone is how I view it. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like some people are a little too harsh sometimes with like books. Like if you don't like the book, that's totally fine. But to like go to somebody else and be like, your book taste is crappy because you like Colleen Hoover. Because the book community, we don't like that here. All right? We don't like that. Now, am I saying Colleen Hoover's writing is the best? No. I've definitely read much better writing. But like I said, taste is subjective and not everybody is going to have the same book taste as you. So it is what it is. All right, moving on. The Spanish Love Deception is overrated. I actually have not read that book, so I can't speak on it. I've been hearing about the Spanish Love Deception since it came out, and I've been hearing everybody saying it's so good. So maybe I read, because I know the other author has The Roommate Experiment, something like that, I think. I've heard people say that book is better, so maybe I'll have to do like a reading vlog where I read both and see which one I like better. Also, can we ignore the fact that I'm literally putting concealer everywhere all over my face? Breaking out girl problems. We love it. We really love it. All right, moving on. This one literally just says no spice. I mean, hey, that is a personal preference. Personally, I love spice in a book. It spices things up, but you know, spice is really not for everybody. And I also feel like sometimes authors can like overdo it with the spice or like not do it correctly or just do it in a way where you're like, that doesn't sound consensual. I read Corrupt by Penelope Douglas, and that in of itself was enough for me. That book is so dark, and like I know it's dark romance, it's what dark romance is. Like, if you don't like dark romance, don't read dark romance. But I wasn't expecting it to be that dark. Maybe I'll read dark romance for a week, because I think I just saw Steph Rose do that on her channel, and she read Haunting Adeline, I believe. So, I don't know, maybe I will read it. We'll see. Anyways, moving on. Worn books look better than fresh ones. I like worn books, but I also like new books. I like the look of a worn book because it's been loved, and I like that. But at the same time, I also really love a fresh new book because it's so pleasing to open a book, and it's just brand new. And oh my gosh, another spice one. This is crazy. Sometimes spice makes me feel ill. I can second that. Sometimes writers just like either overdo it, or like I said, it's like borderline non-consensual, and I don't want to read that. I'm sorry, but I really don't want to read that. That just no. Anyways, moving on. Icebreaker was just a no-go for me. I have not read Icebreaker, but I have heard nothing but good things about Icebreaker. I literally have not heard one bad thing about Icebreaker, I guess, besides this, but I don't know. What makes it a no-go? If anybody's actually read it and didn't like it, please let me know why in the comment section down below. I'm very curious. I don't know. I really like hearing other people's takes on books, even if I don't like the book, just because I feel like maybe I'll even get like a new view of the book that I didn't get when I was reading it. Okay, but on real talk though, I am very excited to read Icebreaker. I am just a huge fan of hockey romance books. I don't know what is in them. I literally just read a novella for, I think the book is called Pucking Around, but I can't remember the author's name. But I just read the novella to it, and it's basically like a one-night stand, but then she ends up working as like I think a PT, a physical therapist, on her one-night stand's hockey team like months later. Anyways, moving on. Grumpy ex-sunshine trope is overrated. Doesn't feel real. I kind of agree with that, not gonna lie. Don't know if I would say overrated. I think it depends on how it's done. Again, this is just my personal opinion. Have your opinion, it's okay. As a fantasy reader who has gone through her Percy Jackson, Harry Potter, Divergent, The Maze Runner, etc. era in middle school, most of the new fantasy series are trash. They're so poorly written. I heavily agree with this. I don't know if I would use the word trash, but they just aren't hitting the same. And I don't know if it's because dystopian fantasy is a whole separate genre than like the fantasy that we're reading now, but it's just not hitting the same. Okay, really quickly, I'm going to show you guys my eyeshadow because Merit Beauty actually sent me their new solo shadows this month. They launched their brand new solo shadows on August 22nd, and I love Merit Beauty. I literally was just using their number 5 brush, I believe it is. I use this for my blush and also sometimes my contour and my foundation. Lately I've been using it for my blush and my highlight because it just works so well and it blends so well. If you guys have no clue what Merit Beauty is a minimalist makeup company that is safe for both your body, skin, and the planet. They also use ingredients in their products that won't clog your skin like other makeup companies use, and it will completely break out your skin. I've been having that issue a lot, so I've been transforming a lot of my makeup into products that won't clog my skin. I still have some products that do, but I'm slowly transitioning into products that don't clog my skin. Like I said, they just came out with their solo shadow, and they also came out with their number 2 brush that has dual-ended bristles. This one you can use to kind of buff out all the color, and then this end is a tapered end where you can kind of use it to more for like an eyeliner look. Their solo shadow that just came out with is also buildable, so you can have more of a soft look or you can have a really, really crazy look. It's totally up to you. They are a cream to powder soft matte look, so if you're looking for more of a glowy look, I don't recommend this. I got the shade Social. They have 8 shades, 4 of which are neutral shades and 4 of which are color shades. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like on the skin. It's literally, it melts in your finger, which is so nice. I'm just going to apply this with my finger, and then we'll take the brush and buff it out. Another thing about this shadow is because it is matte, it does dry very fast. That's what it looks like. Another great thing about Merit Beauty is every first purchase from Merit, you get their signature brown bag, which is so cute, and you can use it to put all of your makeup in. All orders over $40, you will get free shipping, which is so nice because shipping can be so expensive nowadays. So if you guys are interested in Merit's solo shadows, I'm going to leave all the information down in the description box below so you guys can go check them out. You can follow that link and directly find everything that you need to from the Merit website, and maybe you'll even find something else that you like besides the shadows. Anyways, all the information is going to be down in the description box below. Thank you, Merit, for sending me this. I literally love it so much, and I'm going to use it far too much, probably, actually. The next unpopular opinion is A Court of Mist and Fury, chapter 45 over 55. Also, haven't read that series, so I have no clue what's being said here. But you know what would be really funny is if I go and read those books, not right now, but if I go and read those books and then come back to this video and be like, oh, I get what you're saying now, girlfriend, I get what you're saying. But yeah, I haven't read that book. To be quite honest, I'm kind of nervous to read the Court of Thorn and Roses series because everyone raves about it, and I have this fear that when everybody raves about a book, I'm afraid I'm not gonna like it because of how highly it's talked about. But then another part of me doesn't want to read it because like, you know how when you read a book for the first time and you end up really loving it, and then you can never read that book for the first time again and experience those feelings? Yeah, that I'm worried about that. Like, what if I love it so much to the point where I never stop thinking about it, and then we'll never get to experience reading it for the first time ever again? I mean, I won't, but you know what I mean? Like, that's a fear of mine. Like, what if I go into a huge, massive reading slump after reading it, and then I don't like anything else after reading it? You know what I mean? Everyone is probably like, Mel, that makes literally no sense at all. Reading fantasy and thrillers in the summer. I don't think I've ever done that before. I've definitely read thrillers in the summer. I actually think I just recently finished a thriller. I don't know, personally for me, I like reading fantasy and like thrillers and murder mysteries during the fall time, solely just because I'm a mood reader, and I feel like the fall time puts a huge mood around like fantasy and thriller and murder mystery, and it's right up my alley. So I love cracking the spine. Ooh, that one hurt. That one physically hurt to read. I hope you know that. One of my copies of one of my Harry Potter books is actually cracked and it's falling apart. But in my defense, I didn't crack it. It was a hand-me-down. It was already cracked when I got it. So now it's falling apart. The only reason I don't like cracking the spine is because it completely ruins the book and the binding of it, and it just falls apart. All right, next one. I avoid reading thick books simply because they're uncomfortable to hold. Kindle over it. Ooh, I highly agree. That's like the biggest reason why I don't really like hardbacks. I know you didn't say hardback thick books in this comment, but I feel like a lot of the time my big books are always hardbacks, and it's uncomfortable to like lay down in bed with a book in your hand. It's uncomfortable, and I feel like it all depends on how you're reading. Like, if you're reading in bed and you're reading and you want to lay down, I don't want to hold a book. That thing's so heavy, especially if it's a thick book. That thing's so heavy, it's gonna be uncomfortable. But yeah, I love my Kindle. I've been reading on my Kindle a lot lately. And also another thing, I don't know if anybody else feels this the same way I do, but I feel like when I read on my Kindle, I get through books 10 times faster than I do with a physical book in my hand. And I don't know the science behind that. I'm thinking it's because it feels like my phone in my hand and I'm just like scrolling, so it doesn't feel like a book. I don't know. Does that make sense? It probably doesn't. Anyways, moving on. This whole video is literally just me saying, I don't know if that makes sense. Does it make sense? Probably not. And then just moving on. So, last unpopular take. I don't like Colleen Hoover's books. Honestly, girlfriend, that's okay. She doesn't have the best of books. I know that's like so mean to say, probably. She has some good books. I think her books are 50-50. Some of them are really good in my opinion. Some of them you can honestly skip over because they're really not that good. The one that I highly recommend skipping over is Ugly Love. I hate the plot. It's disgusting. If anybody's read it, you'll know what I mean, and I think it's just disgusting. Can we please stop writing about step siblings being in love, because that's just fucking gross. Anyways, those are all the unpopular opinions that I have for today. Also, we're just gonna completely ignore the fact that my hair is not wanting to really cooperate with me, like my bangs. This is the makeup. Hope you guys liked it. If you guys have any other unpopular book opinions that you guys want to share in the comment section down below, please leave them down below. I really want to hear you guys' unpopular opinions on books. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys did, please sure to give it a thumbs up, and also comment down below your unpopular book opinions if you haven't heard it in this video already. I love you guys all so much, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye, guys.
open my own damn doors, pay for everything on my plate. Sometimes I'd even get the steak, cause I got it like that. Always have my own bag, never needed no man to rely on. Got two good shoulders to cry.